What's up, people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is James Kaundo, and from the topic of this live stream, we are talking about buying land and building in a village. So you're asking whether it's the best decision or not. So you can share your thoughts on the comment section and tell us what you think. And I have seen so many content creators, after getting some money, they are now, going to the village and starting a building. So is it the best decision? So my thoughts might be different from what you think. Yeah, so share your opinion on what you think. I'm also going to share my opinion on this topic and many more. So welcome back to the chat. And if you like my content, consider subscribing. And please like the video, subscribe, and leave a sweet comment. So the decision to, building a house or having such an investment in the village it's a good thing. However, you also need to ask yourself, this money that you're investing in this village, is it worth it? Can this money be used in a different way? Because let's say, for example, if you spend like, let's say, $20,000 on a house in the village, and you don't have even a real estate investment that you have done that is generating income for you. So to me, it sounds like a bad decision. So the reason for this video is to advise content creators that are making some little money, and instead of investing this money, they think of putting that money into a fixed asset. A house in the village will not generate any income for you. It will just be an asset that maybe you can use as a collateral for a loan, but in real sense, it is cash out. It does not add much value. The only thing is that you say that you have an investment, but it doesn't give you much income. Welcome everyone that is joining the live stream. My name is James Kaundo, and you can also share your thoughts on the topic that we are discussing today. All right, so welcome. Let me change the thumbnail. So before you could even do that investment, what is the best decision for you? Because to me, I would rather invest in a real estate, maybe in a rental apartment that is going to generate me income, rather than investing money in a house in the village that is not going to give me income. Building is not bad. You can build, but just build a basic house. After you have made good investments, that is when you now think of building in the village. That's my thought. After you've made enough investments, you have assets that are generating you income. You have invested in bonds, you have invested in real estate, you have invested in shares. After you've done all these things, that's when you're supposed to, my thinking, that is when you're supposed to invest in a house in the village. Even an apartment in the city is much better than a house in the village, because very more often you'll be in the city, and that's where you live. But in the village, you go once in a month, once in a year. So it's just an asset that is lying high. Guys, what do you think? Am I thinking too much? For instance, the reason for why I'm talking about this is because I have seen content creators in a village called Nyabohanse. They are building houses, buying land, land is an asset, very good asset. But now the house, the money that you've invested in that house is not giving you returns. It's just a cash out. So at the end of the day, you'll be spending money on something that is not generating income. Out, guys. So welcome everybody. Welcome guys. How are you? Contribute to the topic and tell me whether building a house in the village is the best decision. What do you think? Am I being paranoid? Or what do you think? Because if you can invest, like let's say for instance, I'll give an example. The house that Ayamaro has built in this village. That house or that project has costed him, I think, more than 50 million shillings, the whole of that project. But now, there is no income that is coming from that project. If today YouTube stopped, he can only see the house, but he will not be able to get any revenue from it. So my thoughts are, if all this money that is spent on that project, if he had invested in a rental apartment, maybe in a neighboring town, let's say his village town near Bohanse, if you build rental apartments there, like Airbnb, you'll be getting money from that investment. But now the house in that house itself is not giving you any money. It's just an idle asset. So I think maybe if someone could consider maybe doing other investments, because YouTube is not a career that you can rely on to make you money throughout your life. If one day crashed and you are not able to, and with so many content creators coming on this space, the competition is continuously increasing. So that means that the revenue that is being shared amongst content creators is becoming big. So the best way to do it is, first of all, invest the money that you're getting from this revenue in a project or an asset that is going to give returns. If you invest in a business, you are sure that this business is going to be generating revenue for you. If you invest in, let's say, money market fund, that money market fund is going to give you money a daily basis. If you invest, let's say, in even bonds, shares, that is an investment that is going to give you money in a continuous way. Unlike how a building that is lying idle in the village and you're investing, let's say, like $20,000. That's a huge sum of money that you can be able to invest in another project. Guys, you can also contribute to the topic and tell me whether my thoughts are adding up or I am thinking, in my own ways. Okay. So if you're thinking of starting a project like that, I think my opinion would be, first of all, have a good research on the kind of project, because I saw another content creator still in the same village. His name is Cloud Joseph. Him is having Airbnbs and he's getting money from them. And that is the same. There are two people in the same village. One of them has invested in a real estate project, and the other one has invested in a home. So this home is not going to, it's continuously taking money from you. And I saw him complain that this project or this home is taking money from him and he's not getting anything from it. So he's now thinking of leasing the house to someone. I don't know who is going to, to spend in someone's home and pay money to spend there. So you see now the decision was, he made a wrong decision well before he could think about it. Now he's thinking of generating money from it, and it's deep in the village, while he could have invested that money in an apartment that is going to give him money back. So, welcome guys, how are you? Where are you watching me from? This is JM Count. And today guys, I think I'm thinking too much, maybe, because as the topic of this video suggests, we are talking about whether it's the right decision to invest in a home or in a house in the village, or before that someone needs to do invest in an apartment or a real estate project. So you can contribute to the topic and offer your suggestion to this topic. When you own that home in the village, you're only going to get status that so and so has such a big house. And people will be referring, or if they are giving direction, they'll be saying that when you pass through that big house, so the only value you have is the status that you have built a big house in the village, and that is the only thing that you can get, and maybe the comfort of living in that home. But for instance, if you are a traveler, if you work from outside and you don't spend time in that house, then it doesn't really help you. So at the end of the day, you made an investment that is not going to give you returns. Is not going to. You still be spending money on other rented apartments outside. You pay money to Airbnbs when you could have invested that money. Let's say, for instance, if the money that Marwa spent building that house, if he spent that money building an apartment in Nairobi, and the minimum rent for an apartment in Nairobi is around 10,000. So you'll be getting more than 100,000 rent from that investment. And now the income from the rent income is now, he can now use the rent income to build his home. But now you have started with building a home when you don't have even any investment, no business. Guys, I think maybe somewhere, sometimes we make decisions that are not right. Because for his case, that money is so enormous to an extent that it can generate so some of the disadvantage of building a house in the village is that you have limited amenities. There is no supply of water. Electricity is a problem. Like for the case of Marwa in his village, he has complained about electricity. There is no electricity. So at the end of the day, you can imagine per day him spending 10,000 on petrol to run generator to fuel the home. That money is spending and he does not get any revenue from it. So is now the home is taking money out of it. Imagine spending $100 on fuel alone per day, and you spend on food, you spend on paying workers. So at the end of the day, you find that you're spending more than $1,000 per day. And how much is he earning? And that's why you find that these content creators most of the time they continue on begging for money online, requesting for donation because they are not managing their resources well. Their management of resources is poor. You find that the money that you receive, you spend all of it. You don't even invest in anything. That's why you find that someone will say that he's broke after receiving more than 1 million Kenya shillings. Imagine that. If you're receiving more than 1 million Kenya shillings and you still, depend on people to donate to you, to support you, this money is supposed to be it's supposed to help you and you're supposed to have a better, you're even supposed to be the one who's giving back to the society because your earnings are so huge, but now the poor spending contributes to bad life. So guys, so the other point is the economic limitation. So village might not offer the same economic opportunities because now the opportunities that are in the village are very limited because even the earnings, the people in the village are not even earning so much. They have if the amount that they are receiving or they are making is very little for them to spend on anything, so they don't have even disposable income. Social isolation is another problem. While the village communities can, you find that when you invest such huge and you even build a perimeter wall so that people cannot access you. So now you're isolating yourself from the society, and you end up, a bit lonely, a bit isolated from the reality. And again, the point number 4 is about property maintenance. It requires you to spend on it every single day. So you find that you're spending money out of the pocket to finance something that is not giving you returns. You understand? So owning a property in the village, it comes with so much responsibilities. You have to pay workers, you have to, pay for all the amenities. That is not little money. So the best decision, according to me, is to invest this money in an asset that is going to generate revenue for you. So before you could think of investing money in a home or a property in the village, consider the returns that you're going to get from the project. And if there is no returns that are viable, abolish the project. That's my take. So my good people, so my advice to you that is considering doing this project, please weigh the pros and cons. The status of having a home in the village, and everyone says that so and so built a mansion in the village is okay, feels good to be associated with their success. But think of the value that is generating to you, and if there is no profit from the investment, consider doing other projects before this project. Consider investing in other assets that are going to generate revenue that you're going to use to build these dream house. So don't start with your dream house. Have your dream revenue. You need to have money. You need to have assets that are working for you. They are giving you revenue before you could invest in these other projects. So thank you guys for watching this video. I think I need to end this live stream at this point. Catch up with you tomorrow.